of our StillKruzn video blog. We're over at Josh's garage today, going to work on his truck a little bit. He's got a standard Ford alternator on this 302, and we're going to swap it out to a 3-wire GM, like most guys do. I'm running it on my 31. It's just a easier install, clean without all the wires and everything, and works pretty good for everybody. So if you've been thinking about doing it, watch it, just stay tuned, and we're going to show you how to do it. Okay, we've already got the wires off the back of it. Josh is going to take this bolt and the bottom bolt out. Bottom bolt will help loosen the belt so we can get it off, and then pull the top bolt out, and it'll come on out. So, Josh. All right, as you see, we've got the Ford alternator out. It's a 70 amp standard Ford alternator. Part of the reason we're swapping it out is the GM is 78 amps, a little bit more efficient, more output. Also, the wires on the back of the Ford alternator, you can see there's several, there's about 4 of them. For the GM, you've got your battery, and then you've got this little plug that goes on the top of it. One wire going to the dummy light and the other to the exciter for the alternator. Like I said, just cleaner install, less wires, a whole lot more.
It's internally regulated.
And it's internally regulated. Thank you, Josh. I almost forgot that. So let's get it mounted up. Before you can mount this up, there's 2 things you got to do. On the small hole that goes on the bottom, there's a little threaded insert that has to be drilled out so that you can get a bolt all the way through it. The other thing is the top bolt, the pivot point, also has to be drilled out to about 7/16. So Josh is going to drill those out real quick, and then we should be able to mount it up. Okay, we had to make a little spacer for the top of the alternator, just to take up the slack, as the Ford took up this whole space between the bracket. The GM's a little narrower here, so spacer takes that up. Josh is going to go ahead and bolt that up. Alright, well, we have the new alternator in. If you want to take a look here, we had to put we built the spacer here. We just used a piece of pipe, cut it what we needed. We also had to put a small spacer right here. We just put a washer on the back side of this bracket to move the top of the alternator back a little bit to give us enough clearance out here on the belt. That's GM alternator mounted up in a Ford. You can see we've got the plug in the back of the alternator. There's multiple ways to hook these wires up. One way to do it is you run the red wire over to the battery post on the back of your alternator. The white wire goes back to your ignition switch and hooks to the accessory side on the switch. Another way to do it, and maybe the more proper way to do it, is the red wire would go back to your main power on the fuse panel, but the white wire would still go to the accessory side of your ignition switch. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up today. We've still got some more wiring to do on the truck, so check back for more video blogs on that. We've got a Rebel wiring harness that we're installing on this. So it's going to take us a little while, and it'll be cut up into segments for the video blog. So that's about it today. So stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.